So I just mentioned that what it lacks is a robust set of sort of last mile tools that give it let it's that enable it to get those last few millimeters accomplished, right, with a very specific in a very specific way that is sort of application agnostic, or that's not what I meant to say. It doesn't matter. What I said is it would benefit from having a set of tools to do certain things that it can't do natively in the app or with code or something because it doesn't have the tool set. So here, for example, it thinks that I want it to import the Google Sheet directly into Odoo, but Odoo doesn't accept Google Sheets as imports. It accepts CSV files, and the 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 instructions don't say download this as a CSV and then format it into the Odoo template and then import it. Actually, I think it does say that or something, and it doesn't want to download the file. So the instructions were the problem, but the solution here um, is it should have other general purpose tools available to it. Okay, external to the apps, external to what's included in in the instructions, and that don't require it to write custom code for everything because that's a memory problem. It's just can't write custom code for everything. It's too error prone, right? Um, what it needs in this case, it should just create an API query, or like I said before, it could create an SQL query since this is a database, but it could have an N8N or zappysys. It would be pretty straightforward to create a set of tools in N8N, a folder with a whole bunch of sort of micro tools, and they would be API nodes, right? This is the API schema for interacting with products. This is the API schema for interacting with whatever this is, uh, you know, customers and so forth. And it would just, and then it would have a set of instructions, and like an MCP server is what it is. It's a maps the API tools, right? It's a toolkit specified in code and so forth. It maps it to the MCP, maps it to language, and then it uses the context of what you're talking about to find the language, to find the tools, and create a very specific set of instructions. So it knows exactly how to use the API. Right. It doesn't have to use logic and inference to figure out sort of iteratively to how to use the API. It doesn't know how. Nobody does. Nobody does. It has to. You have to formulate the logic first, so it's done in stages. So, anyways, my point is, zappysys creates highly granular tools that are general purpose because they create a mapping from APIs or some software spec to some other system that can send it, send instructions and receive instructions, right? It creates a mechanism for interacting with the language of the other thing. And the next thing that's missing is just another map, a more general map that goes from the from the like the software language map that enables the data exchange to to a natural language map. So it will know exactly how to look it up. So it knows this is what these tools do, and then it can go more granular until it just starts operating in zeros and ones, and you get lost. But that's what zappysys does, is they create the tooling. So they need to do it really well and create an MCP server for this stuff, or at least try it out, because he'll have to have one, you know. I guess unless they get so smart that they just don't need words anymore. Anyways, I just wanted to illustrate it if that made any sense. But that's what is lacking here. So again, it's stopped 3,000 times on these kinds of hangups. So we've learned a lot.